ask the age-old question, why did the chicken cross the road? And the answer is, of course, to be here on Across the Fence. Good morning and welcome to our excellent program. I'm Jolie Whitney. The 4-H Embryology Program is one of the most memorable, vital, and fun programs on the 4-H calendar and in classrooms and homes statewide. In a moment, we'll show you the impact this program has on the young participants and, of course, how to get your brood involved. First, I want to introduce our guest. She's a 4-H educator and the leader in the 4-H Embryology Program, Martha Manning. And Martha, of course, came with a little company today. Can you tell me who you brought?
Today I have Henrietta, who is a blue-laced red Wyandotte.
An energetic one, too.
Yes.
And you've been working with the embryology program for over 20 years, and you're working with students and families and teachers. Can you tell me what you enjoy about it?
I just think that it's amazing to see the students who they kind of nurture these eggs from the time they put them in the incubator, and they turn them every day, and they record the humidity and the temperature in the incubator, and the anticipation for the 21 days until the chicks actually hatch, and then the amazement that they have. It really makes the program exciting.
And I participated in this program when I was in grade school, but what ages do you guys work with?
So we work with basically youth that are 5 years old through high school, and we also have one special situation that we work with, which is it's kind of like a group home for people with special needs. So we really have a wide variety of ages. The majority, though, are in the kindergarten through probably 4th grade.
All right, and a couple of years ago, Keith Silva visited Mrs. Cody's classroom in Montpelier Union Elementary School to crack the case on who has more fun in the program, the chicks, the kids, or the reporter.
It's a day to celebrate at Montpelier Union Elementary. The chicks in Miss Cody's classroom have hatched, and the children are excited. Really excited.
Raising chicks is really, really, really fun. They're cute. It was so exciting that I couldn't wait, but I had to wait. Well, you get to see the eggs crack open, and that's really fun.
The eggs are kept in an incubator for exactly 20 days. And on day 21, the fun begins.
I just think it's magical. And this time of year, it's just spring fever, and it really gets the kids back into school and loving school again, because this time of year they just want to be outdoors and playing, and it works really well with the science standards that we do in kindergarten for life cycles and the needs of plants and animals.
UVM Extension 4-H educator Martha Manning is visiting to give the children hands-on advice about caring for these new arrivals.
They're just babies. They can't make enough heat yet, and they don't really have a lot of feathers. Don't crowd, just let's see where they go, okay? And then we'll talk about the chicks when we have them down here on the mat. So we have one yellow chick and we have one brown chick.
The UVM Extension 4-H Embryology Program is open to grades K through 12 and homeschoolers. The curriculum adapts to any subject and stage of learning.
It hits almost every single part of the curriculum, not just science, literacy, even math. We keep track of the days up to 21, obviously, right? I think it just lends itself well to this age, and they love the hands-on part of it. They love interacting when they're even in their eggs. They go over and watch them, and we keep track of what day we're on. We do tons of books. We read lots of books about chickens and hens, and both fiction and nonfiction.
One finger.
It doesn't take long before the students catch on to the chicks or how to care for them.
Something I've learned about chicks is that they need heat to live, because they're just born and they don't make enough heat for themselves yet. And right now they dried up. They're so soft and cute and fluffy. They were just real eggs at first, but at the end they started to look like real chicks. It helps us learn.
What if we don't know what
We want them to be lifelong learners, and it lends itself to really, that sort of idea, and it gives so much back to the kids. It's a super project.
Oh, great. I like that. It will be fun to have.
Raising chicks and raising kids. It's enough to make you wonder which comes first. In Montpelier, I'm Keith Silver with Across the Fence.
Thanks, Keith, and thanks to Dina Cody for sharing her classroom with us. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the 4-H embryology program with the program's leader, Martha Manning. And you've brought in a full-grown chick today, but we saw some, or full-grown chicken, I should say, but we saw some chicks there in the video. How big are those going to grow?
Those chicks will stay in the classroom for about a week, but they will mature into a full-grown laying hen or a full-grown cockerel. About 50% are males, 50% females.
And what happens after the kids, either the school year ends or you were saying they're in the classroom for not a long time? What happens after that?
So each classroom has a choice. They can return the chicks to UVM, or they can find them a home on a suitable farm. So it depends on which choice they choose.
All right, and while we were actually watching that, you mentioned imprinting. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So you can imprint a chick kind of like you can imprint a duckling, in that if the same person handles that chick every day, talks to that chick, and maybe has the chicken down around their shoes because that's their sight level, and then if you put that chick with a whole group of students, it will go to that person that it's kind of imprinted with. It's almost like, oh, are you my mother? So that's how you imprint with chicks.
And it sounds like chickens will get very comfortable. For example, I think Henrietta is so comfortable with you, she's resting.
She's sleeping.
Well, we're glad she's comfortable on Across the Fence. And in that video, we heard from a teacher saying that it's a subject that can apply to a lot of different topics in school, and it also teaches kids about the importance of where their food comes from. Can you tell us a little about that?
So the teachers use this program like across the curriculum spectrum. So they may do journaling, and they may have a variety of books that they read. They may use it for science in that, you know, if you ask them to make some predictions before you set the eggs as to like, how many of these eggs do you think are going to hatch? How many do you think maybe are infertile, which they would determine when they candle the eggs around day 7. So you can use it for many things. They use it for art. They do, you know, art projects around chickens and eggs, and it's really exciting to see all the creative ways that our really great Vermont teachers use the program.
Sure, and I'm sure it's a real fixation in the classroom for kids having something like that, even while they're learning English, to have something like an incubator going in the background.
Yes, and they love to check the eggs every day.
Like, it's only been 5 days, there's no...
That's okay. They have charts to show them, like, so that they know what's happening inside that egg on every day. So they know, like, when the heart becomes a 4-chamber heart from a 2-chamber heart, and, you know, when the chick will start pipping in the egg. So even though they can't really see inside that egg, they know what's happening inside that egg.
Sure, there's something to do for every day of the
Every day.
process. And you've been in the program for over 20 years. What keeps you coming back?
I love poultry. I love the way the kids react to having the incubators in the classroom. I like seeing how creative the teachers are. It's just a really exciting time of the year, and it means, you know, spring is coming because it's a spring project, and so it's really exciting to see it happen in the classrooms.
And tell us about your involvement and the support you give for classrooms doing this program.
So we offer a workshop for any teacher that wants to participate, whether it's a homeschool teacher or a teacher in a traditional classroom, and then we offer support to them throughout the program. So if your incubator were to accidentally become unplugged, I've got an incubator set with some eggs so we can, at least the students can see the process through to the end. They may know that maybe they lost their embryos, but that, you know, this is what would have happened, and we put some more eggs back into their incubators.
And you mentioned an incubator. What kind of financial investment is this for a school or a program to do?
So we offer incubators to the schools that they can purchase through UVM Extension, or they can purchase their own either through a local feed store or online. We offer them turners, and they can get the supplies anywhere. The fertile eggs that we basically sell to the schools, we get out of Yukon, so they're from a certified poultry farm as far as like disease and salmonella, or some teachers choose to get eggs from a local farm.
Yeah, keeping it kind of local in Vermont.
Keeping it kind of local in Vermont.
And we talked about how there's a chart marking all the different dates and steps, but are there any big dates to highlight in the 20-day period of incubation?
Well, I think for the students, the highlights, of course, are the day they get the eggs, and then when they stop turning them so that they know, it's almost time for the eggs to hatch. And then about the day before the hatch, sometimes they can hear the chicks actually pipping inside the egg, which for them is like really amazing to think that it can make a noise, but it's inside an egg. But in reality, at that time, that chick has pulled its head out from underneath its wing. It's poked its beak into the air cell, so it's actually breathing air at that time, and that's why it can make a noise and you can hear it.
And this isn't just for maybe conventional classrooms, but it's also in homeschooling programs. Can you tell me about that?
It's available to anyone, homeschoolers. We have some kindergartens. We've got some daycares with some older children that do it. So it's really about just bringing the opportunity to anyone that wants to learn about chicks and poultry and chickens and embryology and, the whole life cycle of a chicken.
And what would be the cost for a homeschool family doing it, a ballpark?
I'm not sure. Sometimes for first-time participants, I actually have some incubators in the office that I lend them so they don't have to make a big investment until they determine, if it's a program that will work for them year after year. Because you can save that incubator, wash it out, disinfect it, and use it again and again and again.
All right, and of course we'll have some information on that on the website here. So 4-H Embryology program is open to all teachers and homeschool families in Vermont. To register and visit the website on your screen. Thank you so much for joining me today, Martha.
Thank you. It's been great to be here.
And of course, Henrietta.
Henrietta, the star, is sleeping.
Yeah, I'm glad she's comfortable. I also want to thank the crew behind the scenes here at WCAX for all their help. I'm Jolie Whitney. Have a good one.